My name is Julian Hoxter. I'm an associate professor in the School of Cinema, and I specialize in teaching screenwriting.
I'm Johnny Simons. I'm an associate professor in the School of Cinema, and I generally teach documentary production.
My name is Weimin Zhang, and I'm a professor of cinema, and I mainly teach film production courses, such as MFA cinematography and documentary production class.
I'm Kiyoshi Kumagai. It's the at school for, I think, coming up on 4 years now. Major cinema, obviously.
My name's Celine, and I've been at SF State. This is my 3rd semester, and I'm actually graduating now. I transferred from City College.
For the MFA first year cinematography and lighting class, it is hands-on class. So it's certainly we're going to spend a lot of time work with the cameras, lighting equipment, and in soundstage, in fine arts building. But now it is online as well. And I just finished today's class, which is we did the lighting demo in my garage.
I think what I do is relatively easy to translate onto the into the online context. I don't have major technology. My students don't need to go out onto the streets and film things. And I count myself and my students lucky in that. For
the undergrad production class I'm teaching this semester, I really changed the very nature of it in terms of the focus is on first-person, personal voice documentary, right? Because I felt like that would, if we can't go out and film stories about other people as easily as we could in the past, we can always tell stories about ourselves and our communities.
Luckily for me, screenwriting is what I love the most, so I still get to do that for sure. I have a lot more time to do that. And this is the first semester I'm actually taking like the 600 level capstone classes. So I guess there's nothing really to compare it to.
For 2020, it would be a much more of a collaborative experience where you would kind of specialize into like a profession of filmmaking. You would have a writer, have a producer, you would have a director, a cinematographer, and what have you. Today it's like more like you are the one-man show or the one-woman show. Everything, like your idea is front and center, and it is up to you to flesh it out, which is both freeing and also like detrimental, because that's not how like usually filmmaking works.
Rather than going out and shooting original footage, maybe you're pulling up footage that you shot last year sometime, when you had more access, or maybe you're finding footage online somewhere and incorporating that into your storytelling.
There could be any unpredictable situations, conditions. It's not necessary everything's, ready and set and provided to you. You have to find a way to work it out. So if the professional lights is not available, you can pursuing like a DIY stuff. You can using the smaller light.
Whatever's going on in the current moment, it might influence them in a kind of blindly intertextual way, or even a way that is partial, but they don't tend to want to come in and write a COVID script. They're writing about important things to them, and often they're very engaged with broader issues of social justice and identity in all its forms.
Right now, I'm quarantining at my hometown, which is Los Angeles, so I have no access to the film equipment at all. So I have to so before COVID, I would rent out equipment if I needed it, but now I have to use what I have.
For one thing, we can't really get equipment from school, so we're all putting in what we have on hand, but still there's other things like lights and possibly, if we can afford it, a good camera, a nicer camera than any of us have.
Because my camera's not the best, but there's all these free like these free resources of like pre-shot footage. So I've been kind of like the collage melange kind of thing, where I take a bunch of, you know, pre-recorded stuff and like, let's see how this fits together. Let's see if I can make a story out of this.
All of us in all of my production classes are exploring that theme of isolation. I think it's really more vulnerable than I've experienced in the past. We're also talking a lot more about social media and its effect on us, which we have talked about before, but now it's like, that's all we have and we're all living it.
The glass, I wouldn't say half full, but the glass 1/10 full, is that it makes them think creatively and think about how they can bring their talents and their imaginations to the challenges they face now.
If they can work and work well in this type of a challenging situation, they have no problem when they coming back, return to the campus to work with more people and more equipment. Yeah.
We have a better understanding about risk factors, and so we're adapting to that and finding ways to continue to tell our stories.